Now, I'm going to be educating you guys on a very important, some very important information that people fail to realize when you go to jail in this county. When you go to jail in this county, the police can book you on anything they want, and basically whatever they write in their report is generated. And basically, the only reason why they generate this is because the report can be only generated by your signature on a document called a booking sheet when you go into county jail. When you go into county jail, you sign a booking sheet, and it says, when they walk you in, the only important information you need to know is I don't have one because I don't sign them anymore. I stopped signing those because this is what it gets you right here. This is a inmate grievance or inmate request form. Inmate request form, and I that's all I was able to request for like up to a year at a time because I filed this, which is what they call a notice of grievance resolution, because I filed a grievance against the behavioral health system of Santa Clara County because I'm mentally ill, and I started documenting my mental illness and started making it known because I collect Social Security. And as a result of being in this guy's court numerous times, and this is Judge Manley's program of what they call Prop 36 Court, Mental Health Court, more formally known or more known as Mental Health Court, because I signed that document when we went to jail saying that, I am signing to these charges, and, I know they monitor the phones, and it's my property. Well, my property is always going to come back to me because they're going to label that mine because nobody else is going to be able to get that, so we can just put that out of the way. The charges, by definition of the law, you're guilty when you sign that. And basically, they're monitoring the phone, so everything you say at that point gets added on as, different charges if you talk about your case. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is don't sign any of those forms, and they put you in what they call isolation. And basically, what I'm saying is ever since I learned the behavior of how this works when I go to jail, I started seeing people that wouldn't sign these forms and they wouldn't talk to the jail staff, they wouldn't talk to the nurses, and but all this comes up in their system. Bam! All this behavioral health. He's filed grievances. He's got this, which is whatever that is. That's a old no contact order with my ex-girlfriend, but all that stuff comes up, all this crap, whatever you want to call it, right? All this stuff comes up, and then they ask the police officer, what kind of medications does this individual take? And they go, I don't know, I didn't look it up. Well, you're supposed to look this up so that when he doesn't speak, you know what to say for this individual, because you have to be this individual, in other words, and you have to know their mental health diagnosis, you have to know what they are diagnosed with, you have to know that they file these things, and that, all this comes up in your database, and you didn't do your homework on this guy, so basically we have to put him in isolation because he's not speaking to us, and it diverts all this, right? Because once you sign that paper, man, you're theirs, man. And once you sign that paper, man, you're like abiding to the charges as being. That was upside down. No, that's upside down. As being like you were being charged in court. More along the lines, by definition of the law, you're guilty. You're admitting guilt. So you don't get OR. You don't get a lawyer that's gonna fight for you, and you don't get those lawyers that go, well, we're gonna put this guy on the stand and we're gonna say, hey, did you generate a police report? And they're going to be like, we tried. What do you mean we tried? It says here that, you couldn't because this individual did not sign these papers when you went into the jail. In other words, how did you, what police report are you referring to? Because there wasn't one generated. So when did you start this police report? Most of them will say after they book you. Well, they're supposed to start that like as soon as they pull you over. And then most times, cops that analyze the situation, if they have nothing to add on or nothing to attach, and they see this over and over and over again, this individual is keep getting out, and he's not snitching, he's not telling on nobody, and he's not working for no cops. He doesn't talk to cops, and he doesn't trust cops. And check this out: he writes behavioral grievances against the mental health system. Well, that's what I had to do, and when I go to court, they go, okay, charges are amended, and they pretty much are misdemeanors at this point. Anything you say that he did, basically, we're gonna send over to another court, and he'll be held to answer, but he'll be released on zero bail or that's how you got to do it, man. Because if you don't, then you're like. You're going to have a bail that's going to be astronomically high, and you're going to end up with these, like, all the time asking them to fucking do shit for you, and they're not going to do. And basically, you get very limited on your resources in jail, and, you end up in mental health court if you're not careful, and then you end up doing astronomical amounts of time. Over time, that doesn't count because they call it dead time, and then you have to do the time again, right? Like, basically, why would you want to do that? Because you're not educated. So educate yourself and realize that this is a serious matter that people would know. Because I don't have a booking sheet, man. I don't sign those anymore. I don't know if I have them in here somewhere, but I'll let you know that, I don't sign them anymore because I don't admit to any guilt, and I don't admit to, basically doing this behind closed doors. And then they come in and they raid my room, they take everything I own, and they throw it in the trash, and the hotel just throws it in the trash, right? Sure they do. Well, I saw them toss all my bongs, all my smoking paraphernalia in the trash for someone else to get, basically, and if it wasn't for my caretaker, I would not have any of my stuff. Would be just giving it away for free at the homeless option at their nice Best Western Hotel. Oh man, no thanks. So I sue, I write grievances, I ask for refunds, I make sure this is all documented in my favor, because like I had Priceline, I had the police, and I had them all on one conference call, and I was trying to get them to, assist me, and all they did was just send the police in to arrest me for nothing. And they went in my room, didn't have a warrant, and I said, that's fine, you do what you want to do, like I'm not tripping, because like what am I going to do at this point? They put me in handcuffs, they put me in the back of the car, and the sergeant came on the scene because like, he sees this with me a lot, and he asked me, were you smoking the pipe before we entered the room? I was like, yeah. And he goes, I like that. And he goes, who takes care of you? Did somebody take care of you or something? I look at my caretaker. He goes, I like that. He goes, we're all good here. And he leaves, and the cops take me to jail, and I don't say a word from there on to when I get booked, and my pants are down to my ankles, and I'm like, yeah, they're just booking me. But I didn't say anything because I don't admit to guilt.